I don't know really if that's just me being nitpicky, but you know, whatever. So then there's this part where the Genesis sound font plays the bass. And this synth gets faded in. This synth is for the drop. Oh yeah, let me just unfade it in. I'm pretty sure you're not so... Oh, just a moment. Yeah, this is the one that's marked as... that's saved as artillery. So, again, we've got the classic 75% bit crush. We've got 2 unison voices with those settings. And unison phase retriggering and that phase 3%. We've got some a saw retro wave being FM modulated by a triangle wave, and it's even almost double modulated for a split second every time you press the button because of this envelope that is making the modulation go to 165%. The filter is being turned off in this envelope and then turned back on, and the filter is a keyboard track low pass with those settings. In terms of mixing, I don't think I've done much on this one. 19. Oh, well, I guess. Oh yes. So when I was making the drop, because remember this is going to be playing under the drop, I ran into a problem trying to make this able to be heard but not intrusive, and in the end I just decided to keep it as something that wasn't very prominent at any part of the drop really, and I was actually happy with that. But I did make it a little bit better than it was before at the very least. So basically this gross beat is kind of a sidechain. I mean, this is the sidechain preset, it's different. It's a very weak one though. So yeah, the gross beat is a very weak one. But that was just so that its volume could fluctuate, so maybe it would pop in more and less at certain parts. There's this mixing going on. I don't remember doing this, but I mean, this looks about right for this synth. Got a wave shaper. Not going too hard on that. It's just got 90% mix. I was just double checking it wasn't mapped to anything. Then I've compressed it like this. I put a lot more time into making this sound good than I remember. It's a shame that you can it's almost never the focus. This is the low pass that fades it in when it will appear there, and I don't know what this peak control is doing. I mean, it's not putting any effect on the sound, but I can't remember what needs the volume of this to be measured. It might have even been for the video, so it might not matter. But yeah, as you can see, there's the duplicate over there, and yes, so that's just fading in over here. Meanwhile, the synth from the very beginning is also fading in, and we've got this, which actually, why don't we just... So yeah, it's a pretty simple uplifter. I was going to do something crazy at first, but I ended up doing something pretty simple, and I decided that there was already so much helping the build up that it was fine to do something simple and something that didn't have to be so super loud or anything. So yeah, it goes from D3 to D6, and it's a Harmer with... okay, so it's a Reese, because these are identical except for the slight pitch. With that volume envelope, harmonizer like that, and a subharmonic, and it's on mixer track 33 with a wave shaper, a radio preset. I imagine that's okay. So yeah, this is super laggy, so you can't really we won't put you through that, but yeah. basically that automation clip is turning off the radio preset, and it's messing with this reverb. And is this a high pass that I put on the thing? It is. Oh, I do not remember that. That explains why it's so quiet, I suppose. I was shocked by how quiet it was, like at this part at the beginning. I don't remember doing that. Okay, so then we get to the drop. We'll start with the drums because those are probably going to be the least laggy and the simplest. We got these toms. So yeah, and that's mixer track 5. So Maximus. Yeah, some weird stuff on this one, but it turned out alright. And that mixing. So yeah, then there's these hats, which are not playing because sidechaining. And these drums, which I think are just a pretty simple pattern. So it's kick, snare, kick, kick, snare, kick, snare, kick. It's okay. Yeah. It's the same pattern over and over, and it changes here, I think. And then I think that's the only difference. As you can see, I've got 2 of these kicks actually. The 909 kick just kind of reinforces the bass, but the Gerv kick 03 is the main kind of power. The 909 kick is more subtle, which is why we play it at the same time as the snare. And yeah, I already mentioned the snare is like a it's a D that slides down to a B. So this is the what the mixing the 909 kick and the Gerv kick are going through. So yeah. And of course, this snare, of course, is going to have all this mastering on it, because it's really difficult to make these snares good without having to get, samples with real money. So, yeah, this is again taken from the Ghost Hack Dubstep free snares. So yeah, and I use snare 5. I usually use snare 4 or 5. 3 is a bit niche. 8 is alright, and 10's alright. But yeah, thingy. So you super boost somewhere around 300 hertz, and do the same to somewhere around like 600 hertz, and do this kind of stuff. Just get that kind of shape. And then, oh wow, I did the Maximus a bit weird. Okay, I think this is the synth. I remember there was one synth where I did a bunch of crazy stuff with Maximus, so I kept changing it and making it louder and louder and all that to try and make it good. So yeah. And there's this Rough Rider with those settings on 60% mix. Got this reverb, which is a short and high pitch reverb. And this is the long and low pitch one, right? Yes. And a low pass, which is probably for a transition at some point that I've forgotten about. But we'll get to that. So that is all the drums for the drop covered, but I don't have time to really start talking about anything else, so I guess I'll just end the video here.